In 1914, a much-loved teacher left his classroom to join New Zealand's war effort. Vincent Hall wasn't much older than some of his pupils.
Now, more than 100 years later, he's the subject of a school assembly once more. Carolyn Robinson explains.
They don't know what exactly, but these boys know something important is happening at the morning assembly. New Plymouth Boys High School is about to take possession of a taonga.
Really special moment for our school. The story is incredible.
It's the story of former teacher Vincent Hall.
Corporal Hall would have taught a classical pathway, things like Latin, French, English, maths.
The year was 1913. It was his first teaching role, a job he loved, and students who loved him.
He was obviously a very, very popular teacher. The kids loved him. He's just a bit older than them.
But it was a career cut short when Hall enlisted in 1914.
Mr. Hall taught classes until the day he left the Trentham Army training camp.
Pretty crazy, because teacher going to war and then, it's just mind-blowing.
He went off quickly. In fact, he couldn't really get a proper farewell, so the boys heard that he was heading off onto a train very early in the morning, and they got up and they raced down to the railway station to see him off. So that would have been incredibly emotional for him as a teacher, but also for their boys.
That would be really emotional. Like, I can imagine all the boys at the school going off to wave off a teacher. The fact that he taught all the way up to the day that he left is really special, I think.
He trained with Colonel Malone. He went in the main body. He was at Gallipoli when they landed. He saw a unique piece in New Zealand history.
Which is where the much-loved Mr. Hall's story ends. His students informed at an assembly just like this one.
It must have been quite traumatising for the kids to understand that he was killed quite early on in the campaign, before the big attack on Chunuk Bair.
For the boys back at home at the time, to lose one of their favourite teachers would have been tragic, and that loss would have been felt heavily by the school.
In the intervening years, Corporal Hall's medals were lost.
The good news is the World War I's are named, the World War II's aren't.
So when his British War Medal turned up on Trade Me, Simon didn't hesitate.
I was very excited. I was giving the headmaster updates during the night, and we got it.
Then the founder of the New Zealand Remembrance Army and New Plymouth Old Boy tracked down Corporal Hall's niece.
Vincent John Bede Hall was the second child of my grandparents. Vincent was Dux of Napier Boys, won a New Zealand scholarship, went to Victoria, did a Masters with honours in languages, and came back in his first teaching position to New Plymouth Boys High School.
And with her blessing, that's where his medal will rest.
Today, Vincent has been returned spiritually to New Plymouth Boys High School.
It's a real honour that his family has entrusted our school with the safekeeping of his medal.
They're immaculate, our boys, they really are, and there was a lovely moment where you could hear a pin drop, and that was when Margaret thanked the school and thanked Simon Strombaum for organising or getting the medal back. In that moment, they understood the magnitude.
She was getting quite emotional, but it was nice for everyone to be able to be there.
If we could float away, fly up to the surface and just start again.
The school's gates bear the names of old boys lost in battle.
It's like the DNA of Taranaki on those gates.
226 in World War II, 40 in World War I. One teacher.
I just think a lot more about it when I walk through.
Also, you got to take your hat off when you walk underneath of it to show your respect.
Corporal Hall's 2 other medals are out there somewhere.
If someone was watching and has them, give us a yell. And they need to be in the school. We're doing the right thing here.
Assembling to remember in a much-loved teacher's first and last post.
Your Uncle Vincent was killed by a Turkish sniper on the day after the Gallipoli landing. On the way down the mountain, he was offered Wharton said no. Give it to the others, they need it more than I do. I know that my father would have found some peace. His mother too would find some peace, and I like that.
Corporal Hall's like woven his legacy into our school, so it's really important that we remember that.
111 years after he left, Mr. Hall is finally back.
Through chaos as it swirls,
We won't forget.
and us against the world.
ASB and 7 Sharp, keeping you one step ahead.